In the United States, a unique camp prepares over 2,000 volunteer leaders to work with children and teens. Young people in Russia are using technology to study the Bible and offer spiritual support online. And in today's episode, see how music and medicine come together in a partnership between Adventist hospitals and an opera company. Watch as ANN starts now. Welcome. We begin this episode with a news roundup from Russia, Venezuela, Mexico, and Fiji.
In Russia, young people and pastors received training in digital evangelism at Seventh-day Adventist University. There they learned how to use online tools to offer spiritual support. 6 young people from the 1 Year in Ministry project applied their knowledge in Kazan, while 47 pastors participated in correspondence classes, using online space for prayer, Bible study, and community engagement. In northeastern Venezuela, hundreds of Seventh-day Adventists delivered over 5,000 books. Titles such as Live with Hope and Hope Beyond the Crisis included QR codes for additional digital content, helping recipients deal with stress, anxiety, and family challenges. In Mexico, Montemorelos University celebrated 50 years of its medicine program. Founded in 1975, it was the first Adventist medical program outside the United States and the second in the world. Since then, it has graduated over 2,100 doctors from 65 countries, many of whom are serving in hospitals, clinics, and missions around the world. The program maintains continuous accreditations and is among the most respected in the country. Currently, it has around 700 students from 34 nations and over 200 professors. In Fiji, Fulton Adventist University College has received provisional authorization from the nation's Higher Education Commission to operate as a university, while the corresponding bill is pending in Parliament. The institution has 120 years of history. It serves students from 11 South Pacific countries and offers courses in theology, education, and administration.
Loma Linda University Children's Hospital has been recognized among the best in the United States for the 5th consecutive year.
Loma Linda University Children's Hospital has been recognized by the U.S. News and World Report as one of the best children's hospitals in the United States for 2025 to 2026. In the ranking, the hospital ranks 8th in California and 9th in the Pacific region. Specialties such as pediatric cardiology and cardiac surgery ranked 18th nationally, while pediatric urology ranked 42nd. According to Peter Baker, the hospital administrator, this recognition reflects the dedication and care of the entire team, who work with excellence and Christian inspiration in every patient care. The U.S. News ranking evaluated 118 children's hospitals nationwide, considering clinical outcomes, best practices, and quality of hospital resources. According to experts, being among the best means providing high-quality care for the entire community in the region.
Now let's go to southern Peru, where the Seventh-day Adventist Church held a training that gathered over 50 participants. The program provided practical guidance to strengthen community work and inspire actions of hope in the Andean regions.
In the city of Puno, dozens of Seventh-day Adventist leaders from the region participated in a training focused on spiritual renewal and mission mobilization. The program aimed to offer practical guidance and discipleship strategies. During the event, the Handbook for Evangelists, Strategies and Keys for Effective Evangelism was launched, sharing practical resources to support pastors, leaders, and members in their mission activities. At the end of the training, the participants joined the Jesus is the Hope Caravan, which traveled to cities such as Villahermosa, Bella Vista, Azangaro, and Crucero, promoting meetings that resulted in decisions of faith and baptism.
Let's go to Alaska, where Adventist World Aviation is making an impact by transporting bags of cement for the renovation of a Seventh-day Adventist church in an isolated village there.
We're out here in Togiak, Alaska. It's at kind of the head of a little bay here, but there's no roads into this location. Just the airplanes and the boats get into here. In the distance, we got the mountains behind us out there, and I got some of the village over that way off, and over behind me, some other buildings way off in the distance. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here before any kind of weather gets in and get home to the family. So we're here at the Fairbanks Airport, Fairbanks, Alaska. And we're getting cement back to a village. I'm sitting in a plane, just did a pre-flight, checked out everything, checked my weight and balance, and right now I'm getting ready to take a load of cement over to a church in a village off the road system called Togiak. And they have a baptistry that's going to get worked on by some missionaries, and they requested some cement. So I brought this down from Fairbanks when I brought the airplane, and we're going to fly it over to Togiak, along with a box with some donated lunch boxes from the Dillingham Church. And they've been sitting around waiting to go over to Togiak for quite some time, so we're glad we're able to take a few of those over on this trip. So that's a little bit of our first mission over there. And also, I have some brochures I printed off at the church for the upcoming event with some missionaries, doing some events for the kids and music and some VBS and some other things for the community, some outreach. So we're going to pass those flyers around and get the word out.
Adventist World Aviation is a supporting ministry of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It was established in 1995 to serve missionaries in remote areas. With a fleet of over 20 aircrafts, the organization operates in countries such as the United States, Canada, Philippines, Nicaragua, and Guyana, providing support to isolated communities through air transportation, medical assistance, and community programs. Let's listen to the story of Dr. Cortez Belen, a doctor from AdventHealth in the United States who is impacting every patient he meets.
My healthcare mission is pretty much an extension of the way I was raised. My mom was an emergency room nurse for pretty much all her career. There was no other option. There was nothing else that fit what I wanted to do, because I wanted to do emergency medicine, because I wanted to take care of people. I can help my Hispanic patients when I walk into the room and they are able to communicate freely with me because of my ability to speak to them in Spanish or in English. My involvement in the community is an extension of me taking care of others, because that is what fulfills me. Perfect example of this has been my job for the last 20 years with Habitat for Humanity International. 20 years ago, when I was struggling with weight, one of the tools that I found was cycling. Now I am part of the Masters Team USA on the sport of duathlon, and I have participated in 3 World Championships. I can now have the stand in which I can tell you, you want to be better, you need to change your life, because I went through it. So now I can tell you, I need you to do it.
A children's magazine from Novo Tempo in Brazil is inviting children to explore biblical archaeology and learn about the Bible through comic book stories.
Rodrigo Silva in Discovering Treasures is a comic book that combines archaeological curiosities, biblical stories, and interactive activities for children ages 6 to 9. Brazilian archaeologist and theologian Rodrigo Silva leads little ones on adventures through deserts, caves, and temples, showing how archaeological discoveries help us understand biblical accounts.
Once upon a time, there was a curious boy, a seasoned archaeologist, and a very frightened camel. Together, this trio will journey across deserts, explore caves, and even visit the Temple of Jerusalem.
That's right. I'm excited to take this journey with Afonso, our little explorer, and Caleb, our not-so-brave camel. Kids can join us on this adventure with some fantastic materials we have prepared. I want to share with you the new magazine, Esperanza Rodrigo Silva, featured in Discovering Treasures. This Bible study guide includes comic stories, interesting facts, and activities that creatively teach about the Bible. The greatest adventure of all? It's discovering the truths of life.
As a complement to the magazine, the project includes the children's web series called Little Evidences, which is available on the Novo Tempo Play platform. The series features 5 episodes of adventure and mystery, in which 3 characters explore the Museum of Biblical Archaeology and investigate clues that connect archaeological discoveries to Bible stories.
A family in Chile had never planned to leave their place of origin, but when they felt called to the challenge, they said yes and became missionaries in one of the most remote places in the world. On Easter Island, they faced challenges and witnessed transformed lives. Watch this complete story and discover how saying yes to a call to service can change everything.
Alvaro and Natalia lived in Chile with their 3-year-old daughter, Catalina. Alvaro worked as a dentist for the local community. She worked as a physiotherapist at the Adventist University of Chile. With successful careers and a happy marriage, they had no intention of leaving. However, one Saturday, during a service at the university, they listened to a sermon about Adventist volunteer service. Then they wondered, can God truly use our family?
We felt like the Lord was speaking directly to us. In that moment, we exchanged glances and knew we had to say yes.
They signed up, and just 2 weeks later, they arrived at Easter Island, one of the most remote places on Earth. Food was hard to come by. Language barriers created challenges. The local residents were wary, and the Adventist Church had only 10 elderly members.
When we arrived, we wondered if we had made the right choice. We were used to having our own home and a car, but when we got here, they assigned us a house. We had to buy bicycles, and we started riding them everywhere. Everything felt very different.
Alvaro and Natalia persevered. They went door to door, conducted Bible studies, and revived the Adventurer and Pathfinder clubs. They began with 25 children, but before long, their group grew to 95. The families gathered together. Before long, a child and her mother were baptized. By the end of the year, as they prepared to return to the mainland, the church had successfully trained and equipped local leaders for the mission.
We came back as different people, which feels strange because we returned to the same place and the same jobs, but we were definitely not the same anymore.
They never intended to become missionaries, but God had other plans, and that changed their lives and Easter Island forever.
There are tough times. We may cry, but we also find reasons to laugh. When we trust the Lord and let Him take charge, He paves the way for us. So, we need to be bold.
In this quarter, your missionary offering will support the training and equipping of more missionaries at the Adventist University of Chile. Individuals like Alvaro and Natalia, who are eager to follow wherever God leads them.
Now let's go to Bolivia, where more than 2,800 people were baptized in 2 weeks.
The Adventist Church in Bolivia actively participated in the Week of Hope, the Revealed Truth, an evangelistic event that spread the message of salvation throughout the Bolivian territory. During this time, nearly 2,500 preaching centers were opened in churches, halls, and public spaces, with more than 15,000 members and volunteer leaders actively participating.
I feel very happy, very glad to be able to serve the Lord, to be able to welcome people and offer them a seat so they can hear the word of the Lord. And I am very happy for the decisions they have made tonight as well.
The Caravan of Hope traveled through different areas of the country, culminating in the eastern region of Bolivia. This delegation included the presence of Pastor Edward Heidinger, Executive Secretary of the South American Division of the Adventist Church, who delivered messages of faith and Christian commitment.
So it has been a very blessed week. I thank God and praise the name of God for everything we have experienced these days. I also want to thank the church. The Bolivian church is a missionary church, a committed church that brought its friends, neighbors, relatives, Bible students, and those in small groups. So, dear brothers, continue fulfilling the mission with love, dedication, and total commitment.
Yes, to the whole church, especially to the brothers, the pastors. Thank you for being involved and committed to preaching, to the testimony, to fulfilling the mission. Is this our church? Together we do much more, and we can preach for Him to come.
The grand conclusion of this evangelism had its epicenter in the eastern region of Bolivia, where authorities from the Adventist Church in Bolivia joined South American leaders to celebrate the mission accomplished. The result of the missionary work was of great impact. 2,819 people decided to give their lives to Christ through baptism.
Thanks to the collective efforts of the entire church and its preparation, over 2,800 people across the Bolivian Union dedicated their lives to Jesus during these 2 weeks in all 4 fields of our union.
Church leaders in Bolivia expressed their gratitude to all members and collaborators involved in this evangelism, reaffirming their commitment to continue sharing the message of hope in every corner of the country.
We can only thank the Lord, to our leaders in the churches and to our brothers, because they have moved, and today we are at a celebration where we will soon know the results. But it has been a beautiful movement.
And we are truly enjoying the joy of being able to see the miracles of God in the lives of sincere people through the members of the church. We can then contemplate those beautiful conversions. So I encourage the church to continue not only here in Villa Victoria, but in each of the churches and districts of the Central Mission to keep preaching the gospel so that He may come.
We are mobilized as a group, small centers, large, medium, the institutions, the educational units, all committed to fulfilling the mission. We thank God here the church is fulfilling the sacred mission.
We had a beautiful service, praise, worship to God, and 6 people who made a difference because they were baptized and accepted Jesus into their hearts.
It must be clear that without the Bible we cannot do anything. Without the Bible there is no message. Without the Bible there is no identity. Without the Bible there is no faithfulness. So, dear brothers, thank you very much for that commitment. May God continue to bless His church. Now we are already projecting ourselves to work, to launch Holy Week 2026. So we are working, and we want to do everything together. God blesses a united church, and the results are impressive when we are all united with the same purpose, which is the preaching of the gospel.
In Mexico, over 900 Adventist leaders gathered to renew their commitment to the mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Themed Jesus is Coming Back, the meeting reinforced bold goals and a focus on small groups.
The meeting took place in Zalostok and brought together delegations from Morelos, Guerrero, and the international evangelist Robert Costa. The focus was on small groups, which are gatherings among friends, neighbors, or family members who study the Bible and promote community service. This focus is part of a global strategy that is also advancing in Mexico. During the meeting, Seventh-day Adventist leaders set goals for 2026, such as reaching 27 new locations, baptizing over 1,000 people, and forming at least 267 groups that study the Bible and share hope in Jesus.
In the United States, the first Master Guides Camporee of the North American Division brought together over 2,000 participants in a call to leadership and mission.
For the first time, the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the North American region held a Master Guide Camporee exclusively for leaders. The event gathered over 2,000 leaders in West Virginia, United States. Delegations from various countries participated. For 4 days, the campsite became a training base. Rescue techniques, decision-making under pressure, practical leadership. In the evenings, outdoor worship services with praise, Bible study, and moments of reflection reinforced the mission's purpose. On Friday, a prayer moment among leaders sealed the personal commitment to service. Saturday was marked by the investiture of dozens of new Master Guides, in a program that recognizes and prepares young people committed to the training of pathfinders, adventurers, and youth-focused initiatives. The organization is now working to make the event a permanent part of the Adventist calendar in North America.
From the forest to the streets, a traditional race brought together women who have overcome cancer and hundreds more who run for those still in the fight against the disease. The event, organized by the AdventHealth Network, marked Pink October.
Florida became the scene of a mobilization against breast cancer. More than 1,500 people participated in the Pink Army 5K race. Among the runners were women who have overcome breast cancer. They returned to the track to encourage others to seek help and keep up with their exams. By 2025, the estimate is for over 300,000 new cases of breast cancer among women in the United States. In addition to raising awareness, the race also raises funds to help residents of Flagler County access exams and treatment. The initiative is from the AdventHealth Hospitals Network with support from the local conference. The race takes place every year and has become one of the largest health mobilizations in the region.
Maranatha Volunteers International promoted another edition of the Ultimate Workout in Paraguay, bringing together teenagers from different countries in service and faith activities. During the project, the youth were involved in construction, community activities, and worship moments that deeply impacted the missionary experience.
Maranatha Volunteers International's annual project for teens, called Ultimate Workout, was a resounding success this July in Paraguay. The 122-member group included volunteers from the United States, Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, Canada, and the UK. Teens were full of energy to make a positive difference. They laid the block walls of 2 church buildings, painted an existing church structure and school playground, distributed food to families in need, led vacation Bible school programs, and assisted healthcare professionals at medical and dental clinics. Ultimate Workout is planned with the spiritual growth of participants in mind. The group gathered each morning and evening for special worship programs. Adult leaders on the project offered spiritual mentorship. And the result was a spiritually uplifting environment of new friends and strengthened faith. 12 teens even chose to be baptized by the end of the trip. Maranatha Volunteers International is a supporting ministry of the Adventist Church that mobilizes volunteers to build churches, schools, water wells, and other urgently needed structures around the world, including North America. Maranatha's work in Paraguay began from 1988 to 1989 with the renovation of a church building, and continued in 2001 to 2002 with the construction of church structures and classrooms. Today, Paraguay's Adventist Church membership is roughly 15,000, but this number is unlikely to grow without more reliable places of worship. Maranatha returned to the South American country in 2024 to meet this need.
In Orlando, a partnership between an Adventist hospital and an opera company shows that music can play a role in the healing process.
We're getting ready for Treemonisha. It was the Florida premiere of Scott Joplin's opera, not done that much, and we had our group of players put together, but for whatever reason, our trumpet player fell through kind of last minute.
The AdventHealth Orchestra extends the healing ministry of Christ through music.
We have doctors, nurses, our music therapist.
When I got the call, I recommended either of my trumpet players because they're both fantastic. And Lauren happened to be available.
It was a really great experience for me. I had never heard of that opera, and so I was just exposed to something brand new that I really loved.
And I got to give her a lot of credit. She jumped right in, a true professional. The conductor loved having her. I mean, she knew her stuff right from the get-go and did not miss a beat.
Music to me is a way that I can express myself and pour it all out somewhere that brings me a feeling of wholeness.
AdventHealth has supported us in so many ways. They are the official healthcare provider for Opera Orlando. They have provided vocal health seminars for our youth company, for our studio artists.
AdventHealth cares for their employees, for their patients, and the community around us.
Everyone that comes in this room comes in to play an instrument, to do their very best, and to be a part of something bigger. And I think it's a great example of what we can be as AdventHealth.
These were the news stories from ANN this week. Watch the full program on Hope Channel, Saturdays at 6:30 in the evening. To learn more about the Seventh-day Adventist Church, visit Adventist.org. For more inspiring news, visit Adventist.news. See you next week. God bless.